everybody in YouTube and also on Facebook. Tonight I'm going to make Swedish meatballs, really tasty, food that you can eat because it's sourced mince from Tesco, steak mince, low fat. Obi's at the age now where he doesn't need a lot of fat, what he needs is energy. So in this we're going to have a little bit of olive oil. There's about 400 grams of steak mince here, which is going to give him a couple of meals. I've already made a batch up, and if you can see, Obi just sitting right here at the corner. He's not watching me, he's watching what's on the plate, the ones that I've made already. I made 3 and I halved it between the two of them. Now the two of them won't leave me alone. They're just like at me all the time, like, there's stuff up there, we need to get it, we need to get it. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to refresh the page, see who comes in. And if you're on YouTube, please look me up on YouTube. Here we go. Live video. That's it. I'll give myself a love heart, eh? So, what I'm going to start off with is I'm going to put the mince in. That's all we need to do. And you can use a spatula, you can use your fingers and just break it up. Look here, what I'm doing is I'm just working it through. I always use plastic. I just mix it up. Now what we need is a little bit of olive oil. It helps with the sticking process, so just a tiny amount. Roughly about 10 mLs olive oil. I lost the lid for it, but this just holds it just as tight. A little bit of sea salt, just a little bit. I don't use ordinary sodium. Sea salt's much kinder for dogs. So just spread it over. Another thing is garlic. Garlic is absolutely fantastic for your dog. Don't give it in huge quantities, so just small amount. What this does is it's antibacterial. It also repels fleas and ticks. It's also good for its coat. Oh, Nicole, Hobnob, happy birthday Hobnob, Hobnob, over here, look what I've got. I've got Swedish meatballs. I might send you some for your birthday, but these were a little bit soggy. I made them a bit too wet, but you can eat that, but I'm vegetarian. Oh, here comes Una. So they do love this. Here, Una, come. That's it. Oh. There we go. So we're just going to work that in. A little bit of garlic. Mind, just a little bit. Very good. Sprinkle it in like that. Now, mint, make sure it's shop bought mint. Don't pick up wild ones because there's so many different varieties, and some mints can be very, very harmful to dogs. But this one, I've checked it up, is absolutely fine. Now what this does is, again, it's antibacterial, but it's antibacterial for the mouth. So if your dogs get gum problems, this is what you want to put in it. So just a pinch of that, a little pinch of everything. So just work it in a little bit at a time. So I'll mix all this stuff up, as you can see. Now what you can do is a sort of like a supplement to this, like, so if the meatball's not enough, what you can do is add chips. Make yourself a plate of chips. So I'll do a little bit of grating. Carrots are very good, as you know, but you don't need much. There we go. 1 egg. Then mix that in nice and well. So you've got a little bit of your sludge going. Now you can, if you want, add more carrot to it if you want. It's really up to you. And here's the main ingredient, oat bran. Very good for the body, for energy and stuff. Also, another thing about garlic is it's very good for the liver. Very good for the dog's liver. If your dog's got problems with the liver, that's your thing. But I would use fresh garlic, but I'm out of fresh garlic at the moment. So I'm just putting the bran in. What the bran does is it sort of mashes it all together. If you look at the meatball here, you can see on it, and they're actually really tasty from Oberon's point of view. Oberon absolutely loves them. And this is a real meal. This is a full meal. So now you get the whole mixture together. The secret is just to work it in. Now you can add more bran if you want. And what you want to do is just really mix it in nicely so that it's got a good covering, so that you've covered everything. And then when you're ready, now one of the things it says that you can put in this is bread. I don't like bread. I don't like shop bread. I don't like bread that's mass produced. I like specialised bread. That's why I make my own bread. But as a substitute, what I'm going to use is bread flour. What bread flour will do is it will stiffen it up and make it more easier to handle. So just working it. I mean, this must be really horrible for all the veggies out there. But I mean, yeah, he really is, isn't he? So if you, I love your garden, Nicole. Your garden is absolutely fantastic. I want to start getting lavender in my garden because I want to make these necklaces. But I didn't really have a chance today because my sister and my brother-in-law, they're going on holiday tomorrow, so I've got to be working, watching the cats and stuff for a couple of weeks. And what I'll do is I'll take time, maybe every couple of days, take a trip by Wyville. Wyville's is a pet store, and it's also a gardening store as well. Right, what I do now is put flour on a plate and cut a little bit out, get it in my hands, give it a little scrunch like that, yeah? Work it in my hands. Then just dip it in the flour, because what that will do is it will stiffen it. You go, want a big bit? You want a big bit? Oh God, you got it right all in his mouth there. Come on, you can have your little last bit as well. Here you go, sweetheart. This is how they make Swedish meatballs, did you know that? So the thing is, these, once they're cooked, they can be frozen. I'll freeze mine. But the thing is, I don't know how many I'm going to get out of this, and I think probably by tomorrow they're all going to be gone as well, because these two are just absolutely all around me. Now I put it in the oven for about 20 minutes at 200 Fahrenheit, which is roughly, I think, 160 on gas. I'm not, Mark 5 on gas, really the highest setting, but for a short time. I've given it 20 minutes, and by 20 minutes it was absolutely cooked right through. But I'm not kicking the thing there. So Unanobi's already had 2.5, so I might give them another couple of little bits tonight, and then I'll keep more for tomorrow for the dinner. just working it all in. I've got to get 6 out of this, 6 big ones. But I had somebody at the door there. So just work it between the fingers so it gets into a little ball, then you just roll it in the plate. That's all you need to do. There we go. And the last one, the tiny one. And make sure you get every scrap out. It's all edible for Adobe anyway. I wouldn't touch it with a particle personally. If it's just because I'm an ex-nurse, all this sort of handling meat and stuff doesn't bother me, but I remember my ex absolutely hated the fact that I wanted to give Obi a raw diet, and she was like, no, no. So there we go. That's 6 meatballs. I think 3 of them will actually make a full meal, plus treats and a little bit of kibble on top. But because the 2 of them are here, that'll probably be gone tomorrow dinner time. I would surprise to think. And obviously I'll put on the oven and stuff, but this is what it looks like. It's firm. It won't fall apart. Obi, come on then. Come on. Perfect meal for a dog. And that is how you cook a dog's dinner. If you've got ideas that it's something that you want me to cook next week, Obi, come on, you get the last bit, baby boy. Eunice had quite a bit already. So it's going to be a short show tonight, but before I go, I wanted to talk about something that I saw today which I actually thought would be really interesting. It's about dogs have evolved a special muscle that lets them make puppy eyes. Now this comes from Smart News. And wolves don't have this muscle, but dogs do it, and they have it because dogs have been our companions, and that's what I liked about this, is they mention dogs not as a pet but as a companion. Dogs have a secret weapon when it comes to getting what they want or getting out of trouble. Puppy dog eyes. When our canine companions raise their eyebrows, making their eyes look wider, more helpless and baby-like, it seems the facial expression was designed to manipulate the human emotions, and it turns out that's exactly what it does. Now, I know you can probably see Obi just sitting at the corner here, but I'm getting those really big doe eyes, and I've got Yuna sitting down here giving me those big doe eyes as well. And they've got all the food off of me, every scrap, but they know that those ones are there. And dogs would eat that, because it's just raw food. That's what dogs eat. But I'm going to cook it for them, and they're going to have to wait. Anyway, in previous studies, researchers had already identified the muscle movement that raises the dog's inner eyebrow to produce those adorable drippy eyes. This movement makes the dog's eyes appear wider, giving them a childlike appearance, which is interesting, isn't it? Considering that dogs have the mentality of like a 4.5-year-old child. Dogs likely evolved these special muscles after breeds split with wolves, the closest living wild relatives of the domestic canines, and started cozying up to our human ancestors. That's why researchers decided to look more closely at the facial anatomy of dogs and wolves to better understand the origin of the eyebrow lift. Ian Sample of The Guardian reports that the team analysed the facial structures of both wolf and dog cadavers from taxidermists and state wildlife organisations and several museum species. In brackets, no dogs were killed for this research. I'm pleased to see that. When I read that first part, I went, oh God, no, I don't know if I want to talk about this. But then I realised that actually they used their brains. They found that dog breeds, including a Chihuahua, a Labrador, a Bloodhound, a German Shepherd, and a Siberian Husky, and a mutt, all had the same specialised muscle called the levator anguli oculus medullus or loma, which they used to produce their wide-eyed dorsal stare. In the four wolves that were looked at, the muscle did not exist. So you see, I think because of our relationship with dogs, dogs have adapted to us. It's just pity humans can't adopt to the dogs either, is it? I know a lot of humans do, like myself and anybody here that's watching, but they evolved themselves to better communicate with us. That to me is sentience, a sentient being. The researchers suggest that it took 20,000 years or so since humans and dogs began hanging out. Evolutionary pressures have caused the lower muscle to develop in canines in order to communicate with their human companions. That's what a dog is, a companion. And that's why I like this story. They are a very powerful animals in how they capture our heart. Water tells a guardian simple. We pay a lot of attention to faces. They are meaningful to us, and this expression makes dogs look juvenile and sad. It induces a nurturing response. It's a cute factor. In the behavioural portion of the study, the researchers, also a team of experts, observed humans' interaction with the shelter dogs as well as the wolves in captivity. The team recorded the number of times the dogs and the wolves made puppy dog eye expressions, scoring the intensity on a scale of 1 to 5. While wolves occasionally made the expression with low intensity, dogs made it much more frequently and with intensity, suggesting it's an important human-dog interaction. I mean, I could have told them that, and I think anybody else that's watching could tell them that as well. But it's interesting to see it in print, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The University of Portsmouth says in the release, when dogs make the movement, it seems to elicit a strong desire in humans to look after them. This would give dogs the more their eyebrows move, and a selection of advantages over others, and reinforce the puppy dog eyes trait for future generations. This is not just idle speculation. In 2013 study, Kamisaki and her team found that dogs with big droopy puppy eyes were adopted more quickly from animal shelters. That's interesting, isn't it? That's really interesting. So that's, I think the dogs that use that most of all, I think Tibetan Terriers is one of them, one of the ancient breed. And why people go for the smaller dogs instead of the bigger dogs in the rehoming centres. People always go for smaller dogs because they look more pitiful. Basically that's what the thing, oh look at that poor wee thing. That's why they get away with everything. Absolutely, Nicole. Obi's a master manipulator. And I've got him right here, and what he's doing is he's punching my leg. He wants me to like, give it a break, the two of yous. It's enough. I'm getting moaned at here because of this up here. So they're using all the little techniques, because I've read this, I'm like, I know what you're up to, you little shitbag. There also an alternative explanation. Also might help expose the whites of a dog's eyes, which is appealing to humans. Yeah, I like Obi's white eyes as well. The only creatures whose eyes whites are constantly exposed. That's interesting, isn't it? Whatever the case, it's like the long muscle makes dogs look more human and more expressive when it comes, which makes us feel more bonded with the furry beasts. even if that white dove is just an evolutionary trick. I don't think it's an evolutionary trick. I think it's dogs evolving to an extent of interaction with us. And it's an ongoing process. They are evolving each time. Can you hear that? That is really, really, really on the on. I can see the whites of both your eyes boring into my head. What am I going to do? I'm going to make you dinner and that's it. You've had your dinner tonight. So anyway, I hope that was informative for you all, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow when we get back to grooming a dog. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you coming. I know it's a Saturday night and a lot of you want to go off and go to your disco stuff and maggot. A chef and groomer, what next? Astronaut, maggot, astronaut. I want to be an astronaut. I'd love to be an astronaut. I've got a drone. It takes me a little bit forward because I can look through the drone through my phone and I see in 3D, real time. But yeah, I'd love to be an astronaut. I'd love to go on a spaceship. But anyway, thanks for all watching tonight. I hope you do make this, and if you do, let me know how it all went. I'll just say goodbye to YouTube. Good night, YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow.